so sorry. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is Lookout Mountain Day, so it's a great day to check in with you as I make my little trip up into the Hollywood Hills. It's rainy, which I don't know if I've portrayed this aggressively enough, but I get so excited when it rains. It means good things for Los Angeles. So nice. It rained a lot this morning. Right now it just is wet. There's no like pelting down rain, although fingers crossed. I have so much to say. I am also super caffeinated. I got a French press because for the third year in a row, my Keurig died. And I always felt a little bit guilty because those little pods just contribute to garbage, all for the sake of convenience. They're sort of the disposable diaper of coffee, you know. Although way less disgusting. It's a weird comparison, but not great for the environment. You know, that's the important point. So, my roommate said that he was going to buy the new Keurig, which is fine. That's great, because it's an investment I'm tired of making. And that was a week ago. A week. So, you know, I've been drinking tea. I also try very hard not to be too dependent on things like coffee to get my day going. But I just enjoy it. It tastes good to me. So, I bought a French press, which was $15. Versus a Keurig, which is $170, which the Keurig is going to die in 12 months because the last 3 have all died in 12 months. A little $15 French press could last me years. So I think that it's just fiscally a more sensible choice. The coffee, as a result, is a little extra strong. Are my eyes glowing? Because I feel super pepped up. Yeah, little intense. The coffee situation. So that's handled. I'm caffeinated, and that's good. Last night, we're going to have a single childless cat lady moment. I have 2 cats. Lemon, who is 2 years old, and she is a color point. She's a sable color point. People think she's Siamese, so that gives you an idea of her markings. A color point and a Siamese are not the same thing, according to my understanding. And when I first got her, we always called her the white one until she got a name, because color points are a form of albinoism, and their coats darken as they age. So she was just a crazy little alley cat that I rescued. I rescued her and her brother. Once her brother got some antibiotics in him, he got wild. He found his full energy, and it was too much for me. So he was rehomed and landed with a vet tech from the veterinary clinic. His name is Fred, and Fred lives with an older cat named Jasper. Older meaning like 1 year older. So Jasper's a Bengal. They're very high energy. So Fred found a high energy home, which was good for him. And Lemon and I were doing just fine, just the two of us, all by ourselves. And I had been warned, don't do single kitty. You should adopt 2 kitties. And I think for a normal person, I would agree with that advice. Meaning I'm not a normal person. It was just me and Lemon for the first year. And we were doing fine until new neighbors moved in across the way, and they had cats that would come prancing out onto the balcony. And suddenly Lemon turned into Dustin Hoffman at the end of The Graduate. Literally, she would like stretch her little paws up on the glass. If she could have teleported over to the other balcony, that's what she would have done. And the days that the other cats didn't come out to play on the balcony, she moped super hard. Oh my God, it was intense and it was very heartbreaking. And suddenly she realized she was lonely. And that was not something that I wanted to witness. So I went on Craigslist and I found an advertisement for a kitten who they said was 9 months old, and his name was Oliver. And the description of Oliver was, he loves people, he loves to be held, he likes to be cradled like a baby, he is super friendly, he will snuggle with you, blah 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 blah. All of that sounded so nice. Doesn't that sound like a perfect cat? So me and a friend go down to check out Oliver, and Oliver is not into this interaction at all. He's really stressed out. But I figured, based on the description, he just needed a little time to calm down. And so I took Oliver home and I put him in the office so that he could have time to acclimate. I had a kitty pen. I called it the Octagon, that could just like contain the cat in a space. And this cat was not friendly. This cat did not want to be cuddled or snuggled or held. I was on a Zoom call with some friends, and one of the friends like is very much a cat person, does a lot of cat rescue and stuff. She said, there's no way that cat is 9 months old. That cat is a year or two at least. Okay. So my niece and nephew come over to visit. They keep going over to into the room to check out Oliver. How is Oliver? Blah blah blah. And at this point, I've let him out of the Octagon and let him have more of the office to roam around in. And at one point, my nephew says, that cat isn't even in there. Such a weird thing to say. Well, the cat was definitely hiding, but you know, what a strange declaration. And I was really stressed out because people kept leaving the front door open. And Lemon is not interested in going outside. She's been outside, she knows what it has to offer, and she's not into it at all. But this new guy, you know, what if he got out? What would happen? Blah, blah, blah. So stressful. And my niece and nephew left, and for the next couple days I kept putting food out, but he was not touching the food. So I called my friend and said, you gotta help me find where this cat is hiding. And we turned the office up inside out. No cat. We went into my room. We went into my roommate's room. There's no cat. And I finally go over and I look at the window of the office, and the screen is pushed out. That cat probably isn't even in here. That kid knew what he was talking about, let me tell you. So Oliver, the unfriendly cat, escaped and is somewhere in the Beverly Hills adjacent neighborhood where I live. Fortunately, it's a very cat-friendly neighborhood. He will have been captured and rehomed, or he will have found a colony to go join. He is neutered, so he will not be making more cat babies. I don't think he was as advertised. I think that it was a bill of goods that I was sold. So Lemon had been very interested in getting to know this new cat, and he had rejected her, so that was very sad. But I thought, okay, we don't have to worry about it. And I gave it maybe a couple weeks, and she got back to moping when the neighbor cat didn't come out. Okay, so I go to another cat rescue situation. There's this charity called the Kitty Bungalow Charm School for Wayward Cats and Kittens, based in South LA. And if you're looking for a cat rescue and you live in Los Angeles, maybe you just want to volunteer. Maybe you want to rescue. Maybe you have a rodent problem because they have cats they will loan you that will, go after the rats and mice. And then I guess you return the cat when the vermin problem is handled. Don't ask me any more details. That's all I know. I don't know how it works. I get very tired when I have mentioned this to other people. I start getting interviewed about this cat program of working cats. They got a website. Go look into it. That's on you now. But they're very good at what they do. And they traditionally name their rescue babies after food. I was particularly taken with Russell Stover, although he had some weird disease, and they had determined I was too sensitive, because it's the kind of disease where he could be doing fine and then drop dead overnight. I was like, okay, I take your word for it. He was also a color point. He was gorgeous. I hope he's doing well wherever he landed, because he did finish his cycle of medication and he did survive, as far as I know, the drop dead illness. One of the interesting things is that the therapy they have now for this particular disease didn't exist prior to COVID. Because of the advances made for the COVID vaccine, they were able to discover a medical therapy for this particular illness. I thought that was, I'm always looking for the, silver lining. The blessing of COVID is there's been tremendous medical advances in kitty treatment, in cancer treatment. This rDNA, did I make that up? It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. So I go to the Petco where they're having a rescue adoption event, and there's this girl sitting there with this little orange baby in her hands, and she gets this little puckered look on her face and goes, yeah, no, I'd like to see another cat. And she hands this little orange baby off to the volunteer worker, and she said, would anybody else like to see this baby before I put him away? And she recognized me from my previous visit to the rescue place, and I said I would, so she handed him to me. He instantly started to purr. He went limp in my arms, and then he fell asleep, purring while he was asleep. So that was done deal. Had a horrible name, Robusta, which sounds dumb anyway to begin with. I had to go home and look up what the hell food is Robusta. Robusta is a type of espresso bean, and it's known to be, if you made coffee with a Robusta bean the way you do with other coffee beans, it might be kind of unpleasant. The flavor is very strong and unrefined, and it is inferior. It's considered an inferior bean, but they still do grow it and they use it. It is the bean they use to make instant coffee, because the freeze drying mellows some of the other elements of it out. And I thought, what in the hell? First this girl rejects him, and then he has this name of an inferior coffee bean, and he's just a little ball of sunshine. He's just so mellow and orange. And who would name him an inferior espresso bean? Not acceptable at all. And I could see how handsome he was going to be. I mean, at this point, he was just little and goofy. Just a little. He was 2.5 pounds. I would wake up and he'd be tucked in right here under my chin. He's 15 pounds now, and he thinks he can fit under my chin. This causes some problems at 6 in the morning when he decides he wants to snuggle. I think he's kind of figured it out. He's not that little anymore. But hope springs eternal. It doesn't mean he doesn't try. And I said to my roommate, I don't know. I think I could call him Mr. Pickles and it'd be adorable, but as an adult, he's not going to be a Mr. Pickles. As an adult, he's going to be kingly. There's something about him that's very noble. I was thinking maybe Apollo or Zeus. And my roommate said instantly, Zeus. It's got to be Zeus. I've since found out that there are a lot of cats named for Zeus in particular. Not an original name at all. But he's very kingly little dude now. He's a year old and at least 15 pounds. He is not a full Maine Coon. He doesn't have that squishy kind of muppety face that Maine Coons have. He has much more defined chin and cheeks. But he's definitely got Maine Coon in there. He's large, he's got big ears, he's fluffy, he's got the fur between his toes and the tail. He looks like a squirrel. So I bring him home, this little orange ball, and Lemon is very opposite. She was very curious about Oliver. She's very PO'd about Zeus. This is not what she signed up for. And Zeus decided that her shitty attitude was make-believe. And he arched his back and he hopped in her direction, and she was so startled. Yeah, they're very good friends now. And because of the rain today, they're both having like crazy spaz around time this morning. They're just flipping out and kicking ass and zooming around the house. They're having a very good time today. But last night, and this is, man, talk about TLDR. What a long ass story. So last night, he got up in the bathroom window and was surveying the kingdom. And I heard from across the way, the neighbor who has 2 cats that would flounce around on the balcony and torture Lemon. Oh, look at you. What a beautiful puss. And I just felt, what a wonderful full circle moment. because the whole reason I have Zeus is because of that neighbor and their cats. And now I'm a childless cat lady with 2 cats. And that's the Zeus story. And, you know, and coffee. I had enough coffee to get through that whole story. I love my babies. I hope whatever you're doing today, it's beautiful and lovely. I hope that whatever weather you're having, that it's joyful, and that spring has sprung where you are. You know, we're gonna have a little bit more rain this week, and then that may be it for the year until we get to next fall. So we're definitely, I think, in drought conditions. I don't think we got what we need for the year, but we got something. So that was good. I think that's all I have to share with you. Let's see if I can get Harry. Oh, just in time. Harry Houdini's house. Did you see the big ass statue of Harry Houdini? Yeah. So, and just in time to have a stoplight. What a beautiful view. No, not a beautiful view. Ish. But this is what the canyons look like in Los Angeles, if you were ever curious. So pretty. Thanking him. I had the left turn light. So I think this is where I'm going to leave you for today. That's it. Thanks. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. Thanks for spending time with me and listening to my story about my cats. I hope you have a beautiful day.